Money is important. Money is not important. Money is good. Money is evil. Money makes life better. Money makes life worse. I need more money. I don't need more money. Each of these contradictory statements can ring true depending on who is watching. The real variable about money is not money itself, it's you. The concept associated to our individual being is surprisingly cumbersome. The notion of I is defined by a series of attributes, memories, past and present relationships, religious and political ideas, preferences about what we consume for sustenance and for entertainment, and many, many more things. But there is one attribute that, even if we may not want to admit it, is so deeply entrenched in our identity that it can provoke powerful emotions and make us behave very irrationally. Money. It is profoundly abstract and mundanely practical at the same time. That is perhaps why there is so much confusion about it and so much conflicting information in the media. It can be a daunting task to find reliable sources when looking for guidance. It so happens that when people look for guidance about money, it's because they are in a tight spot with it. Being fired from a job, starting a family, losing a provider, being the object of a fraud. These are all very common situations, but there is also another very common one, that is to be simply fed up with constant limitations and unpleasant circumstances. And that's what generally happens when you're stuck with a job you don't like. I'll assume if you're watching this video, you're in a similar predicament and you've reached the conclusion that to get out of it, you need more money, but you don't know exactly how to get it. I will tell you exactly how to do that, but I need you to stay with me until the end. The answer I will give you may not be what you wanted to hear. You may not like it. It may sound foreign and extravagant compared to the opinions that predominate in your country's media landscape, but I promise you that it's the truth. It's a fundamental principle that you've probably never heard before, at least not stripped down to the pure essence. Without that principle, without understanding it and making it part of your core beliefs, you will never get out of the predicament you're in. You will keep feeling unsatisfied and unfulfilled, probably thinking that the world is not fair and some people are just born into wealth or find themselves at the receiving end of incredible strokes of luck. Fortuitous events do exist, but believing that wealth depends entirely on randomness is akin to seeing the finger and not the moon. Believing that wealth and money can be achieved is the first important step in your journey, but I regret to inform you that it's not enough. Taking that step without the next one, which is the principle I will explain in a few moments, makes you vulnerable to faulty narratives and shady advisors. You might have seen them on this platform or elsewhere. You can recognize them by how much they flaunt shiny cars, fancy clothes, and lavish abodes. You can point them out in a crowd by the brashness and shallowness of their rhetoric, which is aimed at one thing only: to take advantage of your uncertainty and emotional weakness. They have been called in many different ways. Wealth gurus and entrepreneurs are my personal favorites, but labels are not important. What's truly important is understanding what psychological principle they are exploiting and what damage they can do. You see, when life is tough and money is short, a normal human reaction is to desire more money, more comfort, more free time, more power, more status, and of course, more material possessions. Mind you, there's nothing wrong with desiring and appreciating beauty. I'm neither trying to advocate poverty nor to condemn capitalism and consumerism. What I'm trying to say is that all those desires have one common root: ego. Being in a difficult situation is almost unequivocally conducive to a lower self-esteem, which, believe it or not, equates to a bigger ego. The wealth gurus try to leverage this weakness by arousing your ego. They know that when you're in financial distress, all you think about is yourself, and that you're more susceptible to certain narratives. These narratives generally revolve around the idea that you will make money by being more shrewd, more egotistical, and more aggressive. They portray wealth as something easy to achieve and purchasing power ostentation as the ultimate goal. But of course, there is a catch. Only they know the secret, and they will reveal it to you in a 3-day seminar with an astronomical price tag that you cannot afford. With no apparent options, you choose to believe them and borrow money to pay for your seat. What you experience is a crowded hall being played for cheap euphoria and fanatical elation by an orchestra director whose banality-infused eloquence bears little to no actionable substance. Throughout the entire seminar, you are bombarded by manipulative upselling tactics meant for you to buy more expensive seminars where the guru in question will disclose the real secret sauce to become as successful as they are. The sad truth is that they have no wisdom to sell, only an illusion that by focusing on your selfish desires, you will become wealthy. The illusion that by inflating your ego, you will bully an already selfish world into catering to your wants. There is a profound dishonesty in all this, because our economic reality simply doesn't work this way. Outside of our closest social ties, we as humans are all inherently selfish. We are all, most of the times, concerned with our own needs and care very little about the needs of people we don't know, unless we are exposed to a communication aimed at eliciting feelings of compassion. This may sound cynical, but it's not meant to be. Simply an acknowledgement that a certain degree of competition is and always will be embedded in a world of limited resources. The fundamental principle of the economy, and therefore the law of money, is transactional. Outside of charity, no one gives money away without receiving something in return, and herein lies the counterintuitive rule of money. The only way to make more of it is to go against this intrinsic selfishness. You might have heard somewhere that instead of chasing money, you should chase needs. This is absolutely correct, but I feel that this phrase does not encapsulate the shift in mindset required to achieve wealth and get out of the predicament you're in. You don't simply need to chase needs, you need to put other people's needs above yours. The hidden rule of money is that to have more of it, you need to put others in front of you. The only way you will produce a significant change in your life will be by shifting your focus from your selfish needs to the selfish needs of other people. Of course, you cannot focus on all the needs of 8 billion people. That is impossible, but you need to develop a certain form of empathy that will act as a radar and help you find a small array of specific needs and problems shared by a specific subset of those 8 billion people that is worthy of your attention. Only by making that shift in mindset and by making those needs and problems your life mission will you develop the drive and resilience required to go through the painful trial and error process of developing a solution, marketing it as a product, and building a business on top of it. It won't be easy, but I can promise you this: it has much higher odds of success than pursuing the illusion sold by the wealth gurus. If this video succeeds in its purpose, it will incite a new attitude in you, one of awareness and critical inquiry towards all the faulty narratives that the general public is exposed to on a daily basis. That alone would be a great success for me, but I also know that a new attitude must be nurtured to produce results. Allow me to suggest my book, The Critical Thinker's Guide to Passive Income. Inside, you will find all the concepts expressed in this video in much greater depth. It costs $6.99, but it could save you thousands of dollars and thousands of hours down the line, because it condenses all the wisdom and insight developed in many years. It's also a strong antidote against the harmful influence of wealth gurus and of their devious narratives. I'll leave a link in the description. From the bottom of my heart, thanks for watching. I wish you all a fantastic day.